Imagine this. You've just been born. There's no crying, no one around.
All that surrounds you is darkness, terrifying, and filled with the stench of rotting animal corpses.
And this is exactly what would happen if you were a parasite. Today's deep dive. Backhand index pointing right bizarre parasites from around the world. Stick around till the end to find out which one is the weirdest. Let's dive in. Number 1, the Mexican jumping bean. Okay, hold up.
We're just starting the video and this thing is already jumping around like crazy.
But wait, something looks off. Why does it look more like a toy than an actual animal?
To answer this mystery, we sent our cameraman straight to the Sonoran Desert, located in western Mexico and the southwestern United States, birthplace of the legendary Mexican jumping bean.
And guess what?
Our cameraman, not only immortal, is also a genius. He managed to mount a camera on a tiny bean-sized seed.
Yep, seriously. Here's what's really going on inside the world's most bizarre moving seed. Backhand index pointing right, a moth larva is training inside the bean. Yes, it's one of the rare cases where an animal parasite lives inside a plant.
The Mexican jumping bean originates from the Sonoran Desert and is considered a cultural symbol of Mexico and Latin America.
But don't eat it.
This isn't your average bean, it's actually a fruit from a desert bush, though it does look a lot like a plum. Each fruit naturally splits into 3 sections, and a moth lays a single egg inside just one of them. Once the fruit ripens and dries up, the larva drops to the ground inside its section, then starts chewing through the inner seed to make room, essentially remodeling its house. It even spins silk to form a cozy cocoon, turning the inside of the seed into a luxurious little palace. But life isn't all sunshine and silk. The scorching heat of the Sonoran Desert makes it feel like a tiny oven in there.
So the larva does the only thing it can. Jump like crazy to escape the heat. How does it jump?
The seed has 2 flat sides and 1 curved side, forming a perfect rolling surface.
In fact, they can roll down slopes at a 7-degree angle like it's nothing.
The larva isn't scared of bouncing around either, it's already lined the shell with silk padding.
Life of luxury, baby.
Even cooler, thanks to heat-sensing organs, the larva can steer the seed toward shaded areas. After about 10 months trapped inside, the larva uses its sharp little teeth to seal the cocoon and then emerges, pupates, and finally becomes a moth. But here's the twist. The adult moth only lives a few days to a week, just long enough to mate and die. 10 months of waiting, just to die in 7 days.
Brutal. Number 2, the flea. Dogs scratching. Cats scratching. Even monkeys and antelope are itching.
All of them are victims of a tiny, dangerous parasite, the flea.
Fleas don't mess around.
They infect warm-blooded animals like birds, mammals, and even humans, feeding on blood to survive.
There are over 2,000 species of fleas worldwide. The one we know best? The cat flea. It hops onto your fluffy overlord's fur and sets up camp anytime, anywhere. Fleas ditched their wings in evolution to crawl more efficiently through animal fur.
They're smaller than a sesame seed, but that tiny size is protected by armor-like exoskeletons that make them almost indestructible.
Try crushing one, you'll struggle. Even a hammer might not work. And it's not just the armor.
They've got backward-facing bristles that help them cling tightly to fur, super hard to dislodge.
Their legs? Absolute units. Like they've been hitting the gym for years, spring-loaded, they leap like crazy.
These tiny parasites can jump up to 100 times their own body length.
They're basically the high jump champions of the animal kingdom. But the worst part? They're not just annoying, they're deadly.
Back between 1347 and 1351, a little event called the Black Death wiped out half of Europe's population.
And guess who was behind it? Backhand index pointing right, that's right.
This terrifying little bug.
Number 3, the horsehair worm. This is a type of roundworm that looks quite similar to parasitic worms found in humans, like roundworms or whipworms. But instead, this one is a common parasite of land-dwelling arthropods. Its usual victims?
Spiders, mosquitoes, cockroaches, and especially crickets or praying mantises.
You won't believe what this thing is capable of.
Once it reaches adulthood, it can grow up to over a meter long and usually enters the host's body when the host drinks contaminated water or through intermediate hosts.
When you see it under a microscope, you might think it's giving birth, but nope, it's not.
Horsehair worms mate in water by twisting around each other, a classic position for the worm family. After a period of gestation, they give birth to a tiny bundle, but it's not a sack of eggs, nope.
Despite looking tiny and cute, that little thing contains the equivalent of 1 million larvae. The larvae then latch onto mosquito larvae and start parasitizing right there. That black stuff you're seeing?
That's the parasite emerging straight from the egg.
Crazy, right? Now here's the weird part. Crickets are land animals, they're not good swimmers. But somehow, this cricket leaps into the water.
This got scientists curious, and what they discovered was shocking. Inside the cricket's gut was an enormous horsehair worm. This worm had clearly entered the cricket back when it drank infected water, and over time, it ate away at the host's body. At this point, the poor cricket had no strength left, its body was completely taken over. This is a perfect example of zombie animal behavior, a common result of parasitism.
Did you know?
When it's time to reproduce, horsehair worms control their hosts, forcing them to jump into water even if it kills them. After that, the worm continues its life cycle, seeking a new partner to reproduce with.
Number 4, the pearl fish.
Unlike the other parasites we mentioned, which often kill their host, the pearlfish is more of a polite house guest, it just lives rent-free.
But the place it chooses to live? Yeah, that's just plain rude.
Out of all places, this fish chooses to crawl into the anus of a sea cucumber to hide from predators.
You might not know this, but a sea cucumber's body is basically a tube. One end is a mouth, the other is a butt.
Pearl fish are fragile, sensitive creatures. So they need a safe shelter while they go foraging.
According to them, hiding in a sea cucumber's butt is purely out of necessity, but let's be real, it's probably not. If they go in through the mouth, they'd be digested immediately, so the only option left is to sneak in from behind. Plus, sea cucumbers aren't exactly tasty prey for most predators, so the pearlfish feels super safe and protected hiding inside. Dear viewers, today, we've explored some truly fascinating and bizarre parasites.
From plant-infecting parasites to bloodsuckers, from mind-controlling zombie makers, to creatures that live inside another's anus, seriously, nature is wild.
Which parasite shocked you the most? Life truly is full of wonders, even parasites want a shot at living their best life. As for me, I really enjoyed today's topic. Of course, we only had time to go over a few of them, so if we missed any good ones, be sure to drop them in the comments below. If you liked this video and want to see more about parasites, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Thanks so much for watching till the end. See you next time.